South Korea is trying to boost the local economies of cities and towns outside of Seoul to prevent them from disappearing. And one way to do that is through something called Loconomy. And joining me is our economics correspondent, Lee Soo-jin. Welcome, Soo-jin.
Good to be here.
So, Soo-jin, let's start with the term itself, Loconomy. What does it mean exactly?
So economy is a combination of two words, local and economy. It aims to stimulate local economies, especially in rural areas, through businesses and products that reflect characteristics unique to that region. It's a term that's been gaining traction since the first half of this year because it's being seen as a way to help communities avoid extinction. Even places in Gyeonggi-do province, the only province that has seen its population increase over the past decade, are in danger of dying out. A report released earlier this year showed that 30 out of the 31 cities and counties in the province will be at high risk of extinction by 2067.
Soo-jin, that's a lot. Now then, what gives an area be given the so-called high-risk extinction designation? How can the so-called Loconomy actually be used to prevent these areas from dying out?
So that designation is given to areas where the number of those aged 65 and above is more than 5 times that of women in their 20s and 30s. And an expert said that stimulating the local economy by attracting visitors can prevent extinction. Let's take a listen to what he said.
An influx of visitors that spend money will drastically decrease the possibility of that place disappearing, even if they don't settle down there.
The best way to draw visitors is Loconomy, as it will help local businesses keeping the area alive. Here's what he said.
The most important thing is to make sure that people living in the area want to stay there. Trying to directly increase the rural population is unrealistic as of now, so this is the most practical option.
Then give us an examples of places in South Korea that we may be familiar with that have been successful in actually revitalizing the economy through Loconomy.
So one place is actually none other than Yangyang County, one of the most popular surfing spots in the nation. Originally a small fishing village, it promoted a feature that made it unique: beaches with the right water depth and consistent waves that make it ideal for surfing. According to Yangyang County office, Yangyang's surfing population has been steadily increasing with nearly 470,000 visitors last year. And the economic impact of the surfing industry was estimated to have almost tripled last year compared to 2019.
Soo-jin, and it's not just Yangyang. You recently went out to check out an area in Incheon that's implementing the Loconomy, right? Tell us more about that.
Right, so we were able to visit this neighborhood in Incheon called Gaehang, and it's a place that has a very long history and that can be seen in its buildings. Once a bustling port area, it began fading from people's memories as many began leaving the neighborhood in favor of more modern areas. Then around 6 years ago, a local group made up of people who grew up in the area decided to apply Loconomy to revitalize the village's economy and save it from dying out, by emphasizing the very characteristic that many saw as a root of the problem: its old-fashionedness. The head of the local group says that he believes that it's the area's old-fashionedness, also reflected in the old corner shops scattered across the village, that holds the key to the town's longevity. Let's take a listen to what he said.
I believe that once Gaehang's economy improves and the old corner shop owners make money, they'll pass on their businesses to their children, and then the neighborhood will have a lasting history.
Now I want to know, how did they actually manage to turn their old-fashionedness into something that will actually help these old shops make more money?
So instead of demolishing or redesigning these old corner shops, their old-fashionedness was actually not only preserved but also promoted through galleries and social media to attract visitors. In Gaehang, there are more than 60 corner shops that have been there for at least 40 years that each have their own history. The head of the local group also said that he leaned into the retro boom to raise awareness about the wide variety of old corner shops in the village and even the owners behind them that all have decades of experience. And this has already proven to be effective, as local businesses such as this custom wood shop are already benefiting from the visitors who are fans of the retro trend. Here's what the owner of a corner shop said.
People from Seoul also began to place orders as they discovered my shop on one of their visits to Gaehang.
The shop owner said that until recently, he had been tempted to close his business and leave the area altogether, but he decided to stay after seeing how the neighborhood is starting to slowly change. Keeping with the retro trend of the area, he also designed the vintage logo of the local beer.
It looks like businesses within the community are also collaborating with one another. Now then, are there any other ways that the local beer actually embodies the village's loconomy in its old-fashionedness?
There actually is. So Gaehang beer is actually brewed to have a higher percentage of malt, giving it a taste reminiscent of beer from the 60s and 70s. In response to the rise in visitors who come just to drink this beer, as it's sold only in Incheon, the local brewery has also started to sell its own merchandise. While the locals are well aware that there is still much work to be done before Gaehang's economy reaches a level of places like Yangyang, both are a testament to how Loconomy is creating real economic value.
All right, Soo-jin, thanks so much for your report today.
No problem, anytime.